Hi folks, this is Jay. Hope you come in. I hope everybody's okay. Just having my dinner, and just been reading about retroviruses, and I just had a Copernican revolutionary thought, excuse me, that proves retroviruses beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's completely utter nonsense that what the evolutionists are saying. I've come up with some original argumentation. We're still waiting for the statistics. Nobody yet, no mathematician yet, has come forward with any statistical analysis. And it's been notable that the atheists have actually ducked the statistical analysis of this. And so I would be interested in any mathematician to go and do the statistical analysis on retroviruses and the development over billions of years, and the logical likelihood, the probability of retroviruses being in the places that they are in within the chimpanzee genome and the human genome. Excuse me. Now, what's interesting is that you'll find that there are lots of videos about on YouTube where atheists make these very complex pseudo-intellectual videos where they do provide some kind of statistical analysis. But it's interesting that they put the variables in that they want to put in for the computation. If we were honest and we were much more open-minded and we put all the possible variables within the calculations, the atheist would not be able to substantiate evolution, and evolution would not be able to substantiate itself in the area and the argument of retroviruses. So we're still waiting for the statistical analysis. We need a mathematician who's neutral, neither an evolutionist nor a creationist, who's just open, to do the statistical analysis of the likelihood of retroviruses being in the same place within the chimpanzee and the human genome. And I think what you will find, the statistical probability will actually suit the creationist position rather than the actual evolutionary model. Okay, but that needs to be proven, and the atheists have not proven it yet, the evolutionists have not proven it yet, and the creationists have not proven it. So we need some mathematicians to come out and nail this one for us and help us with this. So the atheists can say all that they want, and evolutionists that they proved retroviruses proves evolution. They haven't proved it. Okay, all they're doing is looking at patterns and seeing patterns and making deductions from those patterns. Okay, but if they were actually to follow their own evolutionary model and put in the computations of the variables for chance situations such as earthquakes, tsunamis, population deletion, and all these kind of different 1,001 different variables within a historical continuum of 6 billion years. If they were to put all that computation together, you would not get the patterns that we see. It would not be possible to see the patterns that we're seeing. So if we're seeing the patterns, the only conclusion that we can come to is the designer has taken the materials that and sequenced them in a way that he's using the genetic information in creative ways, sometimes bringing similarity, sometimes bringing dissimilarity, as well as similarity. That's the only conclusion that we can come to based on the statistical probability of historical contingency with retroviruses, mutations, earthquakes, tsunamis, and all sorts of variables that could come in, not just in 1 year, not just in 10 years, but in millions of years and billions of years. The statistics do not stack up against for evolution, okay, and the retrovirus evidence. But beside that, my next knockdown argument against retrovirus being an evidence for evolution is this: retroviruses are purportedly being transferred into various species. So they've been transferred from chimps, and through chimps they've continued to transmigrate right into the human genome. Okay, so what that means is sometimes some retroviruses will continue to go right through the history of the evolutionary chain. Okay, so if that's the case, we should be able to detect retroviruses that existed 8 billion or 6 billion years ago, that have migrated through the history, through the process of the evolutionary tree, and the residue of those retroviruses should be around today, because they transmigrated right through the evolutionary chain. After all, we can trace a chimpanzee and so-called retrovirus to human beings, and we could trace a retrovirus from a mouse right through to a human being. Well, if that's the case, we can trace retroviruses from 8 billion years ago to the present day. So what I want to know is, name me one retrovirus that is at least 6 billion years old. And if you can't prove to me and provide for me evidence of one retrovirus that it is at least 6 billion years old, then your theory does not stack up and does not have the evidence to prove evolution. We should at least be able to trace not just one but thousands of retroviruses that are at least 8 billion years old, at least 6 billion years old, at least. Okay? So, give us your evidence for a one retrovirus that is 6 billion years old. I'll leave it with you.